Good morning, this is Kellyland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
One man is in the hospital after an officer-involved shooting in northwestern Sioux Falls. Police say it happened in the area of Yukon Trail and North Olympia Drive shortly after 5 o'clock Monday evening. A man who said he had a gun and was about to commit a felony was involved.
Once on the scene, officers found the man and their interaction led to a police officer shooting him. He was then taken to the hospital and into surgery. Police say more details will be released at this morning's police briefing. You can watch it live right here on KELOLAND.com starting at 10:30. A second person involved in a suspected murder-suicide has died. Authorities identified 32-year-old Arthur Miguel as the suspect during last week's standoff at an apartment in South Central Sioux Falls. Officers say Miguel pointed a gun at officers when they arrived on scene.
Police grabbed a 5-year-old boy from the home as they heard more gunshots. 26-year-old Brianna Maddox Hatch died from gunshot wounds. Police said that signs point to Miguel having shot Maddox Hatch, and then Miguel may have died from a self-inflicted wound. A Sioux Falls man is behind bars this morning accused of kidnapping a 1-year-old baby.
Police say Saturday morning, 36-year-old Michael Neal Jr. forced his way into an apartment where a babysitter was watching the child. The caregiver wasn't able to stop him, and he took off with the baby. A short time later, he waved police down and said someone was shooting at him.
Police say his story wasn't adding up, and he appeared to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. When officers asked about the child, he claimed to be the uncle, but couldn't tell police the parents' names. Police then got a call about a missing child and pieced together what happened.
The baby wasn't hurt. Police say the parents knew of the man, but there was no reason for him to come to the apartment or take the child. Along with kidnapping, police also arrested Neal on a drug charge and warrants.
Turning to weather now with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Another hot day today, but cooling tomorrow, Brian.
Yes, indeed. Cold front on the move, already starting its impacts today in western KELOLAND. And we sure could use that after yesterday. We reached highs all the way into the mid and upper 90s from Rapid City to Phillip and Sioux Falls at 87 yesterday. I think Sioux Falls will actually be warmer today. Quick look at our hourly temperatures. By 12 o'clock, we're already to 85. But you also notice the wind is already shifting around to the west-northwest for much of South Dakota. And that will unleash the process of cooling down the next few days. And we'll give you details on that subject coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Brian. The South Dakota Highway Patrol is releasing the name of the person who died last week south of Colomb. Authorities say 20-year-old Devin Center was southbound in a car when he tried to pass a vehicle in a no-passing zone. That car collided with a northbound pickup. Both vehicles swerved into the ditch and collided.
Center died at the scene. The driver of the pickup suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Both drivers were wearing seatbelts.
A dramatic scene in a bean field near Ramona, South Dakota. The Lake County Sheriff's Office responded to an incident with a plane Monday morning.
Authorities say the engine on the plane experienced mechanical issues and shut down. The pilot used a parachute and was able to successfully land the plane in a field. The first of 4 South Dakota Board of Education standards meetings was held yesterday in Aberdeen. The board heard 90 minutes of testimony from people both for and against the proposed standards.
Wall School District parent and board member Elaine Simons and Tribal Education Director for Sisseton Wahpeton Oyate Sherry Johnson spoke in front of the board.
When I first started in the standards, I was in the younger part, and some of them I kind of questioned because they really pinpoint some of the negatives of the past. Although as I went through and I read further on into the standards, I realized it's important components that they study in the younger grades, so you expound on those lessons throughout.
I was on the 2019-20, the standards group that brought that one out. And so I had invested interest. I was in the work group. I was very proud of what we put out there and provided to the public. I felt like we were inclusive and it was appropriate. I felt very well received on that whole standards work group. And so I'm not happy with what I see now.
The next public hearing is scheduled for November 21st in Sioux Falls. There will be 2 more after that in Rapid City and Pierre, and those dates are to be determined. Brandon Valley Marching Band is gearing up to welcome regional bands to the city this weekend.
13 bands will be making their way to Brandon for the Big Sioux Review competition. Students encourage the public to come out and cheer them on.
It's really a different experience if you've never been to a marching band show. Sure, you've been to football games and other sporting events, but marching band is a really different atmosphere, and it's really fun to go to.
The doors open for the competition Saturday at 5:30 p.m. and tickets are required. You can purchase those online or at the gate.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, and our weather forecast starting to cool down and feel more like fall here as we head through tonight and tomorrow. Cold front is going to be on the weather maps already. The wind shift taking place through 6 o'clock down into northern Nebraska, but the rain chance kind of lags behind it. Probably our best shot at some showers will be tomorrow morning, draped from west to east across the southern half of South Dakota. Don't expect a lot of rain from that, but there are going to be some showers around. A little more organization to it in Nebraska and Iowa tomorrow afternoon. Here comes the Canadian air. High pressure dips down from Fargo to Minneapolis by Thursday. That'll keep fair skies in place, probably 60s for highs again for many of us. East River. Folks out in the west, start to watch radar again on Thursday. There will be some showers, maybe a couple claps of thunder there, and that rain chance by Thursday night crosses the Missouri River, and here comes Friday. That's a 60% chance of rain for Sioux Falls and Aberdeen, and it's drawn out on the map. Looks like it's a pretty good chance at least to get something in the rain gauges if you've been missing out lately. Many of you are in that category. By the time we get to the weekend, looks like the weather pattern will quiet down and will be dry there for at least a couple of days. So 70s, by the way. It's going to feel really nice here by the weekend. 90 today, Sioux Falls. That's a little hot. Definitely above the averages there. 95 in Yankton. How about that 7-day forecast? Well, upper 60s tomorrow, 64 Thursday, 66 on Friday. Chance of rain there at 60%. But 70s for the weekend. It looks pretty nice. Aberdeen also be back on track for 70s by the end of that 7-day forecast. The best chance of rain again as advertised on Friday. Pierre area looks like Thursday night into Friday morning. There will be some showers, perhaps not as many, but some chance of rain there as we warm back up. And Rapid City, most of that rain chance is actually the day before on Thursday or Thursday night. And then after a couple days in the 60s, 70s are back, and they'll be here to stay for quite a while. Check out details online at KELOLAND.com.